back from nights, feel the fire ignite. Titan blue, yeah, we ready for the fighting. In the heart of the game, yeah, we stand up tall. Hear the crowd in these sign when the Titans call. New era now, yeah, the league gon' learn with the Titan blue. Watch the whole world turn. Big Jeff in the trenches, yeah, he bring that pain. Quarterbacks running when they hear his name. Cam Ward on the center, yeah, the future's here. Let it fly downfield, we ain't playing scared. Through the hits and the grind, yeah, we pay that road. Every yard, every inch, yeah, we bear that load. When the pressure hits, yeah, we never break. This a new Titans wave, time to dominate. Titans rising, hear the call. Nashville roaring, we stand tall with every heartbeat. Feel the flame, remember the name. Remember the name. Titans rising, blue on blue, built for war. Yeah, we coming through in the light of victory. Hear the screams. We the squad chasing dynasty dreams. From the sidelines, feel the energy surge. Every snap, every hit, yeah, we ready to merge. Defense locked in, yeah, we setting the tone. Ain't nobody safe when we in our zone. Big Jeff crashing, breaking through the line, setting that standard every single time. Cam Ward leading, yeah, he calm and cold. Writing new chapters, watch the story unfold. Through the sweat and the tears, yeah, we earned our way. Every battle we face got us here today. No fear in our chest, yeah, we built to last. Future coming fast, ain't stuck in the past. Titans rising, hear the call. Nashville roaring, we stand tall with every heartbeat. Feel the flame, remember the name. Remember the name. Titans rising, blue on blue, built for war. Yeah, we coming through in the light of victory. Hear the screams. We the squad chasing dynasty dreams. In the hood, yeah, we speak that truth. All gas, no brakes, that Titan you. From the bottom to the top, yeah, we made that climb. Now it's our house, this our time. Fire is rising, hear the call. Nashville roaring, we stand tall with every heartbeat. Feel the flame. Titans rising, blue on blue. Whole league know what we about to do when that whistle blow. Hear the scream, tighten up, chasing Super Bowl dreams.
Talking Titans football all day long. Breaking down the plays, yeah, we're bringing the heat. Titan blue running deep in the street. From the draft board talk to the Sunday night lights. If it's Titans football, yeah, we got the inside. What's Shakin Titans? Let's go! Nashville out, feel the fire ignite. What's Shakin Titans? Game day talk every night. Blue flames rising, yeah, the vibe's electric. Titan fans stand up, let's get it! This is what's Shakin Titans.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to What's Shakin Titans. I'm your host of today's show, Gary Bailey, and then joining me right over here, we got the one, the only, Tyler King and Lee Oli Hips Hillis. What's up, boys? How y'all doing today?
TK, you're muted. What's up, brother? You doing all right tonight?
Oh man, I am awesome. I'm awesome. Lee, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. I'm trying to stay busy.
Right, I feel that. Well, guys, as always, I want to take a quick second to remind everybody that this episode of What's Shakin' Titans is powered by Bailey's Barbecue. Bailey's Barbecue, smoking good barbecue. And also powered by What's Shakin' Sports Media. So, guys, with that being said, it is time for us to hit our very first segment.
Absolutely, man. What are we getting into tonight?
All right, guys, this is it. Welcome back to What's Shaking Around the NFL. Guys, we got a lot to unpack for y'all here today. We're going to go over a quick few topics that, has happened since the last time we aired live. We're going to kind of share our opinions on it. But, real quick, I do want to dive into the fact that Aaron Rodgers re-signed with the Steelers. What are your thoughts on that?
Can we talk about the price and the deal? I actually talked to Lee about this earlier. I think it's too much at this time in his career. Now, obviously, that's going to be chump change to Aaron Rodgers with all of his accolades and everything. Absolutely. But what was it, 20? Was it 25?
1 year 22 or 1 year 22 to 23 and up to 25 with incentives.
Yeah, I think that's too much. But, I mean, I'm not the Steelers. I'm not a Steelers fan, so whatever. Yeah, I'm fine with it. But I just think it's a little bit too much. Lee, what's your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think it's a little bit too much for where he's at in his career. But you have to take into account the accolades: 4-time NFL MVP, Super Bowl champ, just to name a couple of them. And so I think that it's worth it. But as you said, he's really late in his career. I wouldn't have paid him more than 13 to 15.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I agree 100% with both of y'all. I think it was a little too much. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you got a household name. And, I think he's just living up to that, I mean, I feel like the Steelers already went out and, got all the big name people that they wanted. So there's not really going to be a point for them to keep, trying to have to do that after you sign Aaron Rodgers. So I don't think, money was an issue for them. I don't know, man. Like, I hope to see Aaron Rodgers succeed. We all know that the Steelers are going to lose 34-14 in week 17. So let's go. And all right, guys. Well, with that being said, there's also news that Giants wide receiver Malik Neighbors underwent his second cleanup the other day on his knee. The team is optimistic on his return to the team by the start of the season. But what kind of impact do you think this is going to have on the Giants and especially the wide receiver group?
I'll just go ahead and take it away here. I think nothing, to be honest with you. I think the Giants run us this year. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. I said it on the schedule reveal. I think the Giants are going to be this year's like Broncos, actually. I'm not saying they're going to the AFC Championship, but I mean the NFC Championship, but I definitely think you'll see maybe a wild card spot for them this year. A big thing for me is, I know we're talking about wide receivers. Scatabo said he's going to be ready to go. Neighbors is going to be ready to go. Jackson Dart, don't shoot me. I would have almost rather taken him than Cam in certain situations. So I mean, I I'm not. This does not bother me one bit. His injuries or whatever doesn't bother me. I think the Giants are going to be a good team regardless. Without Neighbors, I still think they beat the Titans this year. If something happens that he didn't play.
Yeah. And what about you, Lee? What's your thoughts on all of this, man?
I'm somewhat in the same place. I don't think the Giants beat the Titans this year because of that offensive line. It's still not great. It's a little bit better than ours, but I still think we have more firepower. But when it comes to Malik Neighbors, I think this could hold him back just a little bit in terms of production. I think after this, I think it'll take him at least three to 4 weeks to fully get going.
Man, Lee. You're not sounding too optimistic there, Mr. Oily Hips.
I'm not optimistic that he'll be there fully going into week one. I think his production will be extremely limited.
Yeah. Dude,
for at least the first 3 or 4 weeks of the year.
Yeah, I get that 100%. You know, I think that it's good that they called it ahead of time and not like in the midst of the season. So hopefully, you know, he gets to come back. We all know that, you know, I know from personal experience, you know, going through knee problems is not easy. It does take a while to fully recover.
Yeah.
You know, so I definitely do get it. I think I can see some hiccups along the way. I don't think we're going to see too much drop off production wise. You know, I'm right there with TK on this. I feel like, you know, the Giants are going to have a good year this year for sure. I think they have a lot of things pointing in the right direction for them. But, you know, ultimately, I guess it's a wait and see game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well then, guys, real quick, our last news for what's shaking around the NFL. It is official. As of today, Super Bowl 64 in 2023. Or I'm sorry, in 2030. I said that wrong. We're going back in time. and 2030, I almost did it again, will be hosted in Nashville, Tennessee at new Nissan Stadium. Let's go. What are your thoughts on this, man? I'm excited. I think this is going to be a great opportunity for the city, the organization, and just any way you look at it. I mean, Nashville is built for this. So, TK, what is your thoughts on all this, man?
It's cool. Hey, look, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow here, but actually they're like throwing a party tomorrow downtown Nashville. I just saw in the news right before we hopped on here, celebrating this. It's great for the city. We are I consider us a smaller market team, but the city of Nashville is not. So I think we're going to end up, I think this isn't the first Super Bowl that'll be played in Nashville. I think years down the road, there will be more played here. It's cool. I think talks are going to be like, well, where are we going to be, during the, 2030, where are the Titans going to be? I'm not even like here to entertain that question, but as far as like just a win for the city, a win for the organization, like you said, absolutely. But definitely, I mean, the sad thing is, I've kind of said when the new stadium came about, I was like, I really hope this doesn't turn in just to a spectacle and be a concert venue for Morgan Wallen and Taylor Swift. And that's just me being honest. But as far as the Super Bowl goes, it's going to be really, really cool. So I think it's great for the city. For the city and the organization, I think it's a good thing. But having a Super Bowl here doesn't win us more games. So therefore, But yeah, I think it's good for the city. Lee, what about you?
I completely agree. I think this right here, if you go back to 2019, this city hosted the NFL draft and the city showed out.
I was there, man. Worked it. I was down there every day of it.
I was there also.
and it was an absolute nightmare when you're working at a hotel right there on Broadway. Let me tell you, it was.
But
wild.
I think it's a great thing for Nashville. We proved that we can host big things, starting with the NFL draft. And then I think with the with the Super Bowl coming to Nashville, you have to look at the economic impact that's going to have on the city of Nashville.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I think this is,
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge, okay? No, but this, like, seriously is what new Nissan Stadium was built for. It was built to bring in things like Super Bowls, WrestleMania, and increase, the state of Tennessee's revenue. Because, I mean, think about that. I mean, think about all the people who's going to come from around the world just to watch one game, Lee and I was talking off air about this earlier, he's seen a post where somebody's like, oh, great, it's going to be the first ever country Super Bowl where they're going to have country music playing. I don't know, man. I think they're, if you want to go Nashville natives, here's something we can talk about, later on when it gets closer to time. But, there's a lot of singers that are Nashville natives that are really, your hot hand to pick from. So I think it could be a mixture of things. I mean, I think no matter what they do, it's going to be successful. It's going to set, the city up for success. It's going to set the team up to make more money. I like it. I like it a lot.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, with that being said, now it's time to talk some Titans. Y'all ready to talk about it?
Tighten up.
Talk about
Let's
it.
go. All right. So real quick, guys, if you didn't catch last week's episode, we did a schedule release. We also did a record prediction. So if you want to catch that full episode, you can hop back on over to that. Check that out. But we're about to do a quick recap of that real fast. Lee, don't make me send you timeout again. Anyway, but before we do that, guys, I want y'all to know that this episode of What's Shakin' Titans is powered by Bailey's Barbecue. Bailey's Barbecue, smoking good barbecue. Also powered by What's Shakin Sports Media. Then, guys, you can hop on over to www.doobie.gg. Use code What's Shakin Titans and get 10% off your order. Doobie, energy made right, energy made clean. Guys, if you like to shop or your wife likes to shop, go on over to Temu. Use code TAN 83620. Get 30% off site-wide. Or if you've never had a Temu account, hit the link in the description below and get a $100 coupon bundle. And then with that being said, guys, sports is back. It is in full swing. Whether your thing is football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever it is, guys, go get your favorite team's memorabilia right now on Fanatics. Use code 29SHIP. Get $20 off any order. Get free shipping on any order in the United States. So, with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and bring up the schedule real quick. We're going to do a quick run through of this. So here we go. Here's our schedule. Guys, let us know what game you are most excited for in the comments. And while we're looking at this, let's go ahead and hear from Lee and TK on, what games they're most excited for.
I mean, definitely the Browns game if Shador's playing. Absolutely. I mean, really, I really don't like our home schedule very much as far as like games to go to see. I'm very curious if Derrick Henry is gonna drop a 200 piece on us. We'll play the Ravens too. I think that'll be a good one. And then of course, when I think it'll be fun to probably get a dub against the Cowgirls. I think that'll be good too. What do you think about that?
Yeah, talk about it. Talk about it. We're going to walk them Cowgirls up and down that field, baby. Let's go. Hey.
Lee, what's your opinion on that?
I still think the Titans go 13-4.
What? Who are they losing to, Lee? All right, Lee's off the screen. He's in timeout.
All right, the adults.
Adults are talking. I told you it was going to happen. first of all, ain't no way in Blue Sam's Hades that we're going to lose to some Dallas cowgirls who like to bend over and take it up the buttocks. So I'm just saying that. Love me, hate me. I don't like the cowgirls. They ain't going to win this game. Lee, you can come back in now. Anyway, so outside of that, I would like to share one of the games I'm really most excited to see. Guys, I talked about it a week before the schedule release. I said one game that I wanted to see happen for, a nostalgia feel was I wanted our last home game to be against the Steelers. And guys, let me tell you what, the NFL heard me. They loved me. They're like, hey, we're going to give you the Steelers week 17, the last game in Nissan Stadium. And guys, you might be asking yourself, well, why does that matter? Go back to our very first season in Nissan Stadium. Our very last home game was against the Steelers. And so what a fitting way to send Nissan Stadium out than to repeat that match that brought us in to close out our season the very first year. So I'm excited for that one. I'm hopefully Aaron Rodgers is still healthy and it'll be a good game,
Or he should tear his Achilles.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I know a lot of people hate on Aaron Rodgers, but I like the man was a good quarterback, till he got hurt. And then he struggled. Then he went down a different path, which we just won't really kind of get into all that. But he went, woo.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, if you talk about his days with Green Bay, I mean, literally, no other quarterback in the National Football League could do what Aaron Rodgers did, until you got Patrick Mahomes. And, it's still not that Aaron Rodgers prime, type mobility that he gave to the offense, being able to just run and turn directions and buy time for receivers to get open down the field. Like, it was crazy, That's just my opinion, though. So, with that being said, any other games really stand out to y'all?
I'm going to agree with TK, the Cleveland game.
Yeah.
And then maybe even throw Washington in there.
Okay.
Well, Lee, I mean, you saw Jaden Daniels live in college, so I think you would like to see him in the NFL too, even though A&M won that game.
Yeah.
They did play.
Yeah.
Huh?
So the three games I'm most excited for this season, of course, my most favorite is going to be that Steelers game closing out Nissan Stadium, but then it's going to be when we walk the Dallas Cowgirls. So that's one game I'm really looking forward to, just so when we beat y'all, I can come back and clip this and say, ha, I told y'all. Then another game I'm really excited for, I'm going to lean with TK here. I really want to see this Browns game. Whether it's Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders, I'm curious to see if Deshaun, has anything left in the tank. Can he turn back time? Can he do what no other man has been able to accomplish and turn back the clock? Only time will tell. And we'll find out as soon as they get here to face the Titans on week 7. So, I mean, I'm excited for it, dude.
I think it's going to be another barn burner, that game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, with that being said, guys, our next topic is going to be the replacement of Coach Mack. And this one, I know has the fan base just split, torn, right down the middle. I mean, we should be used to that by now, right, guys? I mean, half the fans love Tannehill, half the fans hated Tannehill. Half the fans love Mariota, half the fans hated Mariota. We should be used to it by now. But none other than Ron Slate is the replacement. Did I say that wrong?
It's Ramon Foster.
Ramon Foster. Oh my
Foster.
gosh.
It's okay.
That's what I get for Ramon Foster. Good catch there. But Ramon Foster is a replacement for Coach Mack. I think a lot of people are upset because this is a former Steelers, football player. Coming in here, they think that, oh, well, he's going to be rooting against us during the game. I don't think we're going to see that at all. Ramon has shown very professional, standards in everything that he does. I think the man is very smart and intelligent, too, when it comes to football.
And to mention, he's worked in the Nashville market for the last 6 years on 104.5. And then before he left to go to Knoxville, he was a sideline reporter for the Titans. And then he went and did color commentary for Mike Keith in Knoxville.
Talk about it.
There's a lot of people that don't like the fact that he didn't play for the Titans, that he played for the Steelers, but he's coming here to be a color commentator. But if you think about it, he's got Tennessee connections. He's from West Tennessee. He played his college ball at University of Tennessee.
He is Ron Slay's brother, by the way.
And he's Ron Slay's brother. And he played in the NFL. Yeah, it might not have been Tennessee, but hey, he's got connections to the state of Tennessee.
I mean, he played his college ball at UT, and honestly, it's funny. Gary actually said originally on the little like hiccup there about Ron Slay, because I'm going to tell you what, I have no issue with Ramon Foster getting this position.
Talk about it.
But I will say this: he mentioned Ron Slay. If you could put Ron Slay's enthusiasm in Ramon Foster, that's the perfect replacement right there. Any of y'all that listen to 104.5, car ain't got no roof. Like, I mean, literally. I mean, Ron Slay,
the boom boom room. The boom boom room.
Like, literally, Ron Slay's energy and everything that he brings. And here's the truth of the matter. It's the same thing when Mike Keith got replaced this past year.
Yeah.
There's never going to be another Mike Keith. There's never going to be another Coach Mack. And here's the thing. I used to love to hear Coach Mack. They would be like, heck yeah. And he'd be like, no, that's a big hell yeah. Like, that energy. And we're going to miss that energy.
100%.
I'm 100% okay with Ramon Foster.
Yeah. So,
and I actually, Ramon Foster also, like Lee had stated, he's been in the game for a while. He knows to amp it. He's going to know to amp it up a little bit. At least I think so.
He played 11 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
We've met Ramon Foster many times, and he's a great guy. And I actually love to hear him talk on Ramon and Will in the mornings. So I'm in. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I am too. I will say, I heard it was on 104.5 The Zone. I don't know if it was Buck Rising talking about it, or maybe it was A to Z who talked about it, but that Coach Mack had already been in conversation with the organization on who he would like to replace him when that time came, and that name was none other than Ramon
Foster.
So I think, this is going to be like, dude, he is, the one thing I love about it is he brings that knowledge that Coach Mack had to it, and you're talking about a dynamic duo. Mike Keith and Mack was a dynamic duo. What if one day we get a Ramon and Ron as your commentators for game day? That would be pretty awesome, man. Like I would tune in for that. Have it on the TV and the radio at the same time.
Take you into the boom boom room during a game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. So with that being said, though, there is another piece of nugget that came out last night. Amy Wells has officially resigned from the organization. Man, this one caught me by surprise. She was awesome. I really enjoyed watching her throughout the years, to see her progression from where she started to where she was, it's a sad day to see her go. I think Titans Nation right now is just up in the whirlwind. I mean, we've lost Mike Keith, we've lost Coach Mack, and now we lost Amy Wells. It's crazy, but I do want to take the time to wish her the best. Moving forward, whatever direction she goes, because she is a awesome person. She's an awesome mom, and I think she's going to succeed wherever she's at for sure.
Absolutely, man. You said it perfect. She's an awesome mom. When her baby was born, she actually brought her daughter up there to the booth and everything before a game. Like we all got to I could see her, honestly. She's such a good person. I think she wants to focus time on her kid and her husband. And I really think that I don't see her coming back in the spotlight because I think she wants to live the family life and do that, which I think is absolutely great. So like you said too, man, I'll keep it kind of short, but I wish her the best too. She was great human being, and she will absolutely be missed. Hearing her sideline reports, before game reports, if you go to a game and all that good stuff. So,
yeah, exactly. I had the opportunity to meet Amy a couple of years ago at training camp. And as we know, the last year or two, it's been her doing the home games and Will Bowling doing the road due to her taking time to spend time with her family. And I think that's a big thing, is that she's taking time to spend time with her husband and her kids. But it's going to be weird possibly hearing just Will Bowling.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that, I will tell you. But anyway, keep going.
Neither am I. Like, he's so just, I don't want to say he's monotone, but like, it's Will Bowling who calls. Actually, it's Lucas Panzica is the one that calls Nashville SC. But with Will Bowling, it's different.
He reports the stuff. It's just there's not.
I think the big thing with Will is he's going to shoot you straight every time, whether you like what he has to say or not, and that's just how it is. He's bringing you the facts and the numbers over, the emotion, if that makes sense. And I think that's where a lot of people disconnect with him, because as a fan, you want to be optimistic. Not as optimistic as Oli Hips here, but you want to be optimistic.
Gotta love it.
But
Oli Hips.
Yep. So, I just think it is going to be hard to watch him by himself. You definitely need to get someone in there that can bounce off the opposite of him, so they gel really good. So you have that really, because it's the same thing here. Oli Hips is very, very optimistic when, me and TK are more your realistic, hey, down to earth, we're going to shoot you straight. This is what we see. Going back to our record prediction, TK was 7-10, correct?
Yep. 7-10.
I was 5-12, and Oli Hips here was 3-14. Or I'm sorry,
13-4.
13-4.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? You think that's why he has a lot of disconnect with the fan base?
Absolutely, 100%. Like I won't even speak more on it in the aspect. I agree. I do agree with that.
All right. Well, guys, we're moving right along real quick, guys. Just want to take the time to let y'all know, hop on over to www.doobie.gg. Use code WhatShakinTitans to get 10% off your order. Doobie. Energy made right, energy made clean. Guys, hop on Temu. Use code TAN83620. Get 30% off site-wide. Or if you're a new user to Temu, you can click the link in the description below and get a $100 coupon bundle. Guys, Sports is in full swing. Go on over to Fanatics. Find your favorite memorabilia. Use code 29SHIP to get free shipping on all orders over $29 here in the United States. And then again, guys, this episode of What's Shakin' Titans is powered by Bailey's Barbecue and also powered by What's Shakin' Sports Media. So with that being said, guys, we're moving right along here today. Let's get into our main topic. That is breaking down this offense. All right. Tune in next week. Here's a little teaser. This week, offense. Next week, defense. Week following that, special teams. That's all you're getting from me. But let's talk about the offense, baby. Let's talk about it. All right. So, first off, right off the rip, who do you think is going to step up the most on this offense this year? I'm going to shoot it to TK first.
Gunnar Helm. We haven't talked about tight ends much. And I kind of told Lee about this before. I think Gunnar Helm is top 4 or number 4 or 5 best tight end this year. I know that's a Lee kind of prediction, very optimistic. Something just tells me, man, he's sure-handed. I think we found our guy at tight end. I know other people might say Wan'Dale Robinson or something like that, but like for me, I've watched this guy in college, and Lee knows this. I pulled a Lee, and I said before we drafted him, I was like, we need to go get that guy. And that was when me and Lee did a watch party for Texas A&M and Texas game because Lee's all about the Aggies.
Yeah, he is.
And that game didn't end up in his favor. But I will say, I think Gunnar Helm actually is going to be the standout this year as far as I think. And I'm sure a lot of y'all like watching or whatever, probably fantasy football guys. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Pick him up this year because I'm going to say Gunnar Helm. I'm going to go tight end as far as standouts. Lee, what about you?
Well, hold up. Before Lee chimes in, let me ask you this, because this is people we think need to step up their game, right? So what parts of his game do you think he needs to elevate the most? What is going to be beneficial to his overall game?
Yeah, and Gary, I understood the question. Here's the funny thing, though. Cam going to have to step up. I mean, Cam is the answer, really. But the reason I said Gunnar Helm is because if Cam can get him the ball, so the answer to your question is not actually anything Gunnar can do. It's if Cam can get him the ball, then what I just said will happen. I'm still going to stay on the Cam thing, and I'm going to continue to do it, guys.
Yeah! All right! I'm fired up! Let me talk about it! Let's go! I've been waiting for it! Yeah!
Who needs to make an impact? Who needs to step up their game? The answer is actually Cam.
Hold up. Time out. Let me talk. Let me talk about it, baby. Because I got something to say. All right? First of all, you can't get a Cam Ward to step up until you get an offensive line to step up first. I'm sorry, but I don't care if you're Tom Brady. I don't care if you're Joe Montana. I don't care if you're Randall Cunningham. You are not going to perform behind what we've seen come from this offensive line over the last 4 years. It's just not going to happen. I don't care who you are. Why do you think when the time came and, we had the opportunity to bring a Tom Brady in, we're like, oh no, we're going Tannehill. Because Tom Brady's like, I don't know. Y'all seem a little fishy when it comes to that O-line. The O-line is the lifeline of the offensive production. So we all know Cam Ward has proven it. He can deliver that ball. He can deliver that ball accurately and on time. One thing that he has struggled with is keeping from getting hit. Why? Because we have a middle school, I said high school, now I'm degrading to middle school offensive line on that field right now. Middle school, guys. So
Gary, okay, but you asked for a player, so would your answer, is it going to be an offensive lineman?
So yes, it is.
Okay, and who is that? Is it going to be this blind side?
It's got to be the blind side, or it's got to be the center. because those are your two.
Also, proof to your point, who is that going to be? No,
I'm sure when we talked about who's going to be, I'm sure Mr. Oli Hip Optimistic here has something to say about the center, because he really likes the young buck we drafted.
Yeah.
So let's let Lee talk about it for a second. I'm sure he has something he wants to say about that. So
I'm actually not going the young buck that we drafted.
Raggy?
I'm going the seasoned veteran in Calvin Ridley.
Guilty.
Because he's had really good years. But coming off injury, he needs to revive his career if he wants any chance of staying in the league.
Okay. And how do you think he
got you on the staying in the league thing?
I feel like if you're Tennessee right now, you have to go to a quick pass game until your offensive line can fully develop.
Okay, but dude, hold up, time out. Lee, I love you, but back to the Blue Abyss. So, while the adults talk here for a second, TK, you know this just as well as I do, man. Like, the one thing that, I feel like is being misconstrued here is you want that production offensively, correct?
I want points on the board,
You want
dude.
points on the board.
I'm tired of getting 17 points in a game and actually being excited about
Right.
it. Like, that's really pivotal.
Now, everybody's been talking for the last, 2 years that we're going to be this pass-dominant team. We're going to come out, we're going to do short game, we're going to pass it, we're going to pass the ball down their throats, It hasn't worked out. One, you ain't got the O-line for that type of stuff. I don't care if you're trying to throw mid passes, short passes, deep passes, you got to have an O-line that holds up in order to throw anything that's going to remotely be close to a decent pass. Here, let me bring you back in, Lee. Sorry about that, brother. You're back, buddy. Anyway,
I put myself in timeout.
I think the one thing that, when it comes to this pass game, everybody keeps talking about is, can the O-line hold up enough to give him enough time to get rid of that ball? Because you're not going to go out there every single game and just short pass, and expect to put up points consistently, because who's going to catch on? The entire league is going to catch on to what you're doing. And you're not going to be able to do it. They're going to shut you down. That's what's happened to us. And then we have to go back to run first and then let the run game open up the pass game. You got to address this O-line if you want to have a pass-dominant team. I mean, it's I don't know. Talk about it, TK.
I mean, I get what you're saying. And I have to see Cam. And this is where me and you, disagree, but also agree at the same time. Like, what if we do get this? Let's say the O-line's, doable, right? I think in order for Cam to be successful, unlike other quarterbacks, he has to have what I like to call an elite offensive line. Right now, Cam Ward he's made some crazy plays. I was at the home opener when he threw across his body. It was right in front of me where I was sitting. I've seen it. But how many of those plays did he actually have? So my question is this. How many plays also did he have where he did get to set in the pocket and throw it? He had a couple. But my thing is, I'm not sold on Cam Ward. And I think Cam Ward has to have an elite O-line in order to do anything. And even then, I don't know if he had an elite O-line, if he's still the guy. I need to see what this year looks like. And that's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's my answer. And it's going to continue to be that's my thing.
I think, a lot of Cam Ward's problems that we had to deal with last year, because of course we drafted him first overall. He was supposed to sit for, the first half of the season, But what happened to Will Levis? He decided to have surgery. So then he was thrown into the mix. So he didn't have the proper development like you would want your quarterback to have. That aside from everything, you look at who his head coach was. Now, everybody was really optimistic about Brian Callahan, who was a great offensive coordinator, when he had Joe Burrow and all these.
The thing to point out about Callahan, he was not the person calling plays in Cincy. It was Zach Taylor.
Yeah.
So he had never called a single play until he got to Tennessee.
I mean,
isn't it weird how that works?
I will say this, though. If you go back, because this is something I love doing film studies. Like, I will deep dive on players. And so when I did my film study on Cam Ward from last year, like, dude, once we got past Brian Callahan, what did we see from him? Everything that you wanted to see from him at the start of the year. He started, escaping the pocket only when necessary. He wasn't running out too soon. He wasn't running out too late. He was doing it on time. He was delivering the ball better. He was managing the game better. You could tell that he started learning. So whatever change happened, which was Brian Callahan getting fired, was the thing that shifted everything for him. Now you get somebody like, help me with his name.
Brian Dable?
Yeah, Brian Dable. You get somebody like Brian Dable in here, and I think this is where we're really going to get to see Cam Ward's abilities and talents highlighted. We're going to see that growth from Cam. I will put it like this. Big Jeff went on a podcast not too long ago. I don't know if either of y'all got to see it. If not, let me know, and I'll send it to y'all. It was a really good watch, for sure.
About Robert Saleh?
Yeah, that's the one where he talked about...
Yeah.
But he got to talking about, Cam Ward, and, he said, look, I will tell all y'all this right now. I know this man, and I know he's going to come out ready. He's going to come out, and he is going to prove to everybody why he was drafted first overall. But he has to get to that spot himself. The coaches can't do it for him. I can't do it for him. Jeff can't do it for him. He has to get to that point himself. And the way Jeff made it sound was as if he was right on the cusp of figuring that out. Every player who turns out to be a somebody in the league has one of them moments where, oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah, how long is that going to take? I mean, look at Sam Darnold.
I mean, dude, hold on. Well, look at Baker Mayfield, dude. It didn't click with Baker Mayfield till after 4 years, and
they didn't make the Super Bowl. But and Geno, he's fallen back off. But Geno with the Seahawks a couple years ago, is being the number one overall. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I haven't seen it yet. And I'm hoping this is the most year that I'm going into as a Titans fans where I want to, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about everything I'm saying.
I will say this, though, because we are really riding Cam hard. But here's the one thing I do want to point out. Who did Cam have to throw the ball to last year? Cameron DK, who was halfway into the offense. His main thing was what? Special teams? That was his main focus. Where was Calvin Ridley? He was hurt. Outside of that, who did he have to deliver that ball to? There were several plays where he hit people dead center and they dropped it. There were plays where, he tried to force it into coverage because, the wide receivers that we had couldn't get open. I will say this. We're talking about, who steps up. This is going to lead me into somebody else I think will step up. We kind of mentioned it, and you're going to like this, TK, but Xavier Rezzepo, I think it's also going to be one of those players that steps up for this team this year. So I'm really excited because
I think that will happen because I think it's going to happen again. I think that happens when Calvin Ridley gets hurt because I honestly truly believe that's going to happen again.
Either that or Rondale injury because
Yeah,
Rondell's a
that's it.
slot,
That's
and
it.
I feel like Xavier, that's his strength. Midfield, let him find the open spot on the field because Cam Ward's going to find him every time. Like he's
And
going to prove that.
We don't even know what Tate's going to look like yet.
Absolutely, right? I mean, but
So-
I think the biggest thing that we have to seriously sit back and consider when we're talking about Cam Ward. Yeah, Cam Ward didn't come out and look like Tom Brady did, but first of all, it's his first year. Who did he have to throw the ball to? Everybody was out. The offensive line wasn't holding up for him. The kid was trying to figure everything out on the fly while he was getting his head ripped off. Like, go back through.
So, can I bring this up
Fire
about
away.
Cam last year? So if you look at his numbers from before the bye week, he had 5 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
We're on the stats again.
After the bye week, he only threw 1 interception after the bye week. 1. And 10 passing touchdowns. Before the bye week, sacked 38 times. After the bye week, 17.
And this goes to show you right there, Cam
That it was
Ward,
a coaching problem, not a player problem.
absolutely. Like I will,
And so-
I will die on this ship sinking in the sea if I have to, baby. But I'm
And-
telling you, you cannot base last year and say, "Oh, I just don't know about Cam Ward." Why? Because
I'm gonna make
we've
another
seen
bold
that
take.
progression from him after that coaching shift was made. And that was still without Calvin Ridley
A true wide receiving core.
and a true offensive line. I mean, it's like they went to the local Pee Wee team and got people to play for them.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean,
So I'm gonna give Cam.
Because you said last pod though, Lee, that we're gonna have a better offensive line this year.
Yeah, let's talk about it, Lee. Don't get yourself in trouble.
Scale to 1 to 10, and I probably know the answer because it's Oily Hips Lee over here. Scale to 1 to 10, how much improvement do you think our offensive line is going to be this year compared to last year? Go.
Bum, bum,
I'm not gonna go
bum.
10, but I'm gonna go close. I'm gonna go 8.5.
How? What? No, that's it. Let the adults talk. Lee.
Dude.
Poof. Lee's off the screen again. Did he really just say an 8, bro?
We
Did-
don't even
did
know
I hear-
what our O-line is yet.
Dude, did I hear that correctly?
Yes, 8. No, actually 8.5.
8.5? Hold up. Who's our center? As far as that goes, who's playing right guard?
I don't know.
What? That's about like him saying we're going to lose some cowgirls. Oh, man.
Bring him back. All right, you're back, Lee. Hey, you got to elaborate on this what you just said. You can't just say it and now you're out of timeout.
Yep.
You can go now.
The adults had their conversation again, brother.
Okay. So the reason I'm going at it like this is this offense is completely different from last year. And you've got a guy as your OC who when he got his first OC job in the NFL, which was who?
Who?
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo's offensive line was not good when he got there.
Are you talking about Dayball right now?
Yes.
But he wasn't the offensive line coach.
But he was the OC. The offensive line was not great when he got there as the OC. He used what he had and turned them into a playoff contender within the first 2 years.
And none of that had to do with how good Josh Allen was.
Josh Allen, I looked at him coming out of college. He wasn't, in my opinion, he was not a first-round pick.
Well, I mean, he played for Wyoming, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to judge somebody when they're winning 56-0 against Rice or something.
Talk about
But
it.
I'm going to make a very bold prediction.
No way.
Bum, bum, bum.
So the bold prediction is
He's rubbing his spear.
Yeah, what y'all don't see is he got that spear in the background. Go watch last week's
There he
episode. Now he's about to rub it on them oily hips, get it all loosened up for you. All right,
here we go.
let's hear the prophecy.
Cam Ward will finish top 10 in the NFL this year
I don't think that's a far reach, bro.
in passing touchdowns.
What?
I
I'm about to put.
Hold
if
up.
I had- if
Hold
I
up,
had
hold up,
control
hold up,
this,
hold
I
up.
would put- I would put both of y'all in timeout right now.
Hold
I
up.
would put you, Gary. You'd go to timeout too.
hold up. I didn't
Yes.
realize you were talking about passing touchdowns. That's a
I
whole
don't
different.
care.
That's
I
a
don't
whole
care if
different
you're talking
subject, bro.
about- Dude,
So first of all,
And
First of all, let me back up. Because I got defense, right?
y'all are gonna
I-
make me
hey.
turn into the werewolf tonight.
Hey, look, I got this. All
Okay.
right, let me give you some history here. All right, from the quarterback position. All right, take it from one who played quarterback here. All right, let me share a little bit of wisdom. All right, look at Joe Burrow. Lee, your stats. What was Joe Burrow's stats his first year? Because you remember Joe Burrow
I know
was
he
thought
got
of as a bust when he came in.
the only win that Cincinnati got his first year was against who?
Us.
Yeah. And that was
I
the
remember
only
that game.
win.
Why'd you bring them scars up, Lee? But
Okay.
no, like seriously though, you look at this is a prime example of what Cam Ward is going through. You know, Cam Ward's situation was, I would say, more on the extreme side of what we seen in Cincy surrounding Joe Burrow.
I think
They
Joe
had-
Burrow was a more mature. I think Joe Burrow was a more mature quarterback though, coming out of college than Cam Ward is.
What,
Maturity wise.
dude? So
Okay. Here's Joe Burrow,
Dude,
his
Joe
rookie
Burrow
year.
won a national championship.
But they had a really good explosive team
Cam
around
Ward
them.
played in the Pop-Tart Bowl, by the way. The Pop-Tart
Okay.
Bowl or something like that. Like,
okay, let me.
No, Shador played in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
okay, that's
Okay.
right. Whatever. It was some
Garbage bowl game.
All right, ladies. I got this. All right, we gonna talk about it, boys. First,
Gary, I know where you live, dude. I will come to your house.
come on here, man. Come on, we will talk about it. All right, because
Okay.
look, seriously though, you got to think of it like this. When Joe Burrow came in, first off, let me address what you said about Cam Ward. Cam Ward, yeah, he's going to talk crap to people, stuff like that. That is who he is. That is, like when I played football, I don't care if you just sack me, I'm getting up and I'm talking smack to you. Like that's who I was as a player. I get that, Not everybody's like that. Taylor Lewan's like that. Big Jeff is like that. Cam Ward's like that. But that doesn't make a player mature or not mature. What makes him mature is the fact that coming in, when he was drafted, he immediately was the first person in the building, the last person to leave the building.
Like the coaches had to force him to leave the building.
Yeah, dude, like he showed everything you want to see.
In a first overall pick.
Absolutely. As a franchise player, that's what you want them to be doing. You want them to be setting that example. He came in. He didn't have nobody. Who was going to show him to do that? Will Levis? That dude was a crackerjack. Come on.
Quackerjack.
Quackerjack. No, he was a banana.
No, he was a jar of mayo.
That was coming. I knew that one was coming.
Anyway.
What, the jar of mayo?
Yeah.
Anyway, so look, I think that literally what we seen from Cam Ward last year was literally we seen a quarterback when he first got in here who was confused, didn't understand the direction of the team, right? That's not his fault. If I got on here and, because as a producer, I'm like the quarterback of our team right now, right?
Absolutely.
So if I said, hey, let's hop in here and we're just going to go live, I'm not going to give y'all no topics. We're just going to go, like, y'all are not going to, it's going to be probably one of the worst episodes out there, right? Because there's no direction. And that starts from the top and then it trickles down. So when Cam Ward hit that field, no wonder you could see it in his gameplay. Everybody puts that, no, like, go back and watch his Miami highlights. Go back and watch his full games, man. Like, this dude has what it takes. He had it translated to
He just needs the leadership.
Well, he needed it to translate to the NFL, and Brian Callahan did not do his job to translate that game.
As I said, he needed the leadership, and he didn't have it.
Yeah,
I mean, Callahan was terrible. I'm not here to argue that. He was
booty cheeks.
Yeah, and that's why his number, it's literally like a seesaw. It was like way up here in interceptions and all this stuff, and then Brian Callahan gets fired. What happens? That thing instantly said bloop. He lost the respect of the players. I don't like. You look
he
at
lost
the
the locker room.
Yeah,
he lost the locker
absolutely, 100%. Like, they weren't going out there to try and win games, bro. They were tired of Brian Callahan. This is a guy who literally came out in front of reporters and was like, "Oh, that was a rule? I didn't know that was a rule. I guess I'm have to do."
I will say that was right there one of the worst post-game press conferences.
Talk about it, bro.
Bro, I've ever seen a coach give in the history of the NFL.
Right.
Like,
dude,
I remember listening to 104.5, hearing that and going like,
"Are you serious?"
I have an idea for next week.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I have an idea for next week because I think this would be cool. Let's, throughout rest of this week, do our research and find like the top 5 worst press conference ever held by a head coach.
Dude, that's going to be hard because Brian Callahan might be number 1.
For all 5. He's going to be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5.
We do a clip and all it is just that same clip 5 times in a row.
Oh, man. I love it, bro. I love it. All right. So, honestly, I think, I get where you're coming from. Everybody has freedom of speech. They have the freedom to feel how they want to feel. But, TK, if I could give you some advice, my brother, I'm going to give you some advice. Let Cam cook. Let him cook.
If he does, you need to cook me some Bailey's barbecue first before
Hey,
that was a good plug right there.
But seriously, let the young buck cook. We got good leadership in there for him now. So we think. I believe that Brian Duvall, Robert, they're going to bring sustainability to the team as a whole, but specifically to the offense. I think we're going to see more consistency in putting up points. I don't think it's so optimistic like Mr. Olihip said earlier, where he's going to be top 10 in touchdowns. I do think that you see him progress to somewhere in the top 15 to top 10 range of overall production from the quarterback. That does not mean touchdowns, passing yard. That's it. That is everything. Like QBRs. When was he throwing the ball? Was he taking unnecessary sacks? That's what I grade a quarterback on. And if you go back to last year's film, starting out until we went to bye week, it was like, oh dude, like why we wasted a draft pick. Coming out of the bye week, it was like, who is this kid? Because this dude has something, like it wasn't consistent because we didn't have the pieces in place to make it consistent. But we seen,
and that's what I would love to see him expand on this year is
absolutely
Lee, who is our offensive line? Like, how can we say these things?
You're not going to be able to really. I don't think you're going to see.
That's the thing. Like, to make a bold prediction, so you're putting faith that offensive line is going to come together at an 8.5.
Well, tell me this, okay?
Uh-oh.
Who was the offensive guard at the end of the year last year?
Who was it, Lee?
The rookie Jackson Slater, who played very well the back end of the year.
Last year's pick, yeah.
Who?
The rookie out of Sacramento State.
Oh, that dude they got from the Pee Wee team.
Didn't he play for literally, like I just said, like East, West, North Dakota?
Sacramento State. Sacramento State.
Or something.
He played for Sacramento State. He was a 5th-round pick.
I know that
he played for who was it? It wasn't Vic.
Wait, what?
What?
I need to go find out who was the head coach at Sacramento State.
So while Lee is doing his more stat research here, all right, I do have to side with TK on this one though, because you didn't, other than 2 draft picks, who did you bring in to help this offensive line? That was different from last year. You let go of your center, and by all means, I think Cushenberry, right? Am I saying that right?
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
All right. He was the most solid piece on the offensive line.
But he couldn't stay healthy.
He couldn't stay healthy. And he, and with that being said, I'm saying he was the most solid piece. That tells you everything you need to know. I know everybody's like, oh, Peter Skoronski. I mean, yeah, but how many players are on O-line?
Well, I hear that name like Skoronski a lot, and people are like, well, he's solid. Like, we've got a piece there. Here's the thing, though. When your O-line is that bad, just because you might be the best one on that bad of an O-line doesn't necessarily make you great.
Talk about it.
That's literally oh, we're 0-16, but we've got a really good offensive line. Like, it just doesn't and my thing is this, the Pat Coogan from Indy, the center that we did draft. I will say, Lee, on your side with this, I'm curious to see what he could develop into. And the only reason I'm saying this, I really do give a lot of stock into players that have won national championships. I just do.
Yeah.
So, but
go ahead and throw Carnell Tate in there.
I'm not saying an 8.5. I don't even know if he's going to see much of the field this year. We don't even know. Cam Ward going into this season right now doesn't even have a clue. Maybe you could have at least hey, maybe I know who's going to be blocking. Yeah, at least have a good idea. Hey, this guy's going to be protecting me, but he doesn't even have a clue right now. I
don't think it was too soon on the one. He was not the same after injury. He had back-to-back ACL surgeries. He was not the same player he was when you drafted him.
If he could have stopped holding, if he could have fixed his penalty problem, I would have kept him.
Here's the thing, though, and this is why I disagree with you, Lee. Again, we let go of Taylor Lewan and Ben Jones just a wee bit too soon. Why am I saying that? You should have kept both of them an additional year, drafted somebody, and let them build the chemistry on how to function as an O-line. Because the second Taylor was gone and the second Ben Jones was gone, it was like you were starting with that Pee-wee offensive line. It takes time to be able to teach, double blocks and triple blocks and how to pass somebody off and all this stuff. I think that's one thing that Ben Jones and LaJuan was really good at, was helping develop that next person. Look at when we had Jack Conklin come in. I mean,
oh, dude, don't even. That was like
that was as bad as AJ Brown, bro.
That was almost like he was still a baby when we let him go.
Right? Yeah.
But you also
like,
have to look at the salary cap stuff. He wanted way too much.
Screw the salary cap.
Honestly,
You break the bank.
Guess what? We had these same conversations with Jeff, and look what he's turned into. And we gave him his money, and now.
But it all depends on positional salary.
I think the reason, and I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think the reason the Titans was hesitant to do another big contract is because they did one with Taylor, and what happened that year? He got hurt and suspended, I think, that year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So,
yeah, he did.
So I want to point this out. When we released him in 2023, he was drafted what year? 2014. So he was with the Titans 9 years. The 2 seasons before two of his final 3 seasons ended with a season-ending knee injury, and 2 of his final 3 years.
Well, I will say, LaJuan, I mean, he quit football after that, and he did go on Bussin' with the Boys, and literally he did speak about it. There was almost a lawsuit there too, like
because the complications.
Yeah.
So yes.
But this is the thing.
But
this is the thing. When I say you keep him on for a little bit longer, a wee bit longer, you don't keep him on as a starter. You bring him in. You bring someone else in. And then you let them pick his brain one more year while he's there.
Hey,
that is where it's all about. Pouring into the next generation.
I'm so glad you said that, Gary, because that is what I think the Titans should have done with Cam last year.
I mean, but
I think Cam should have sat behind. I don't even care if it's like a great veteran, but a veteran at least half the season and then start Cam.
Because
Well,
you want,
tell you.
I said it coming in. I said you really want Cam Ward, who is going to be that franchise player for you one day, to sit there and develop and learn from Will the Mailman Levis?
No.
Like, I get where you're coming from. I agree 100%.
I'm sure the price was too high. I wanted us to actually get Aaron Rodgers. I wanted him to sit behind Aaron Rodgers.
Dude, go back to his time in college. The one person he designed his game after is Aaron Rodgers. That would have been a perfect fit for him, because it would have been complimentary to his game.
That should have happened.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I think that would have, even if Aaron Rodgers didn't take the field but for 2 or 3 games, he still had that player in the locker room to learn from. Who did Cam have last year? He sure to F didn't have a head coach.
Back in the day, that was like Kerry Collins and then Vince Young. That's what happened.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And now Vince had his issues down the road, but 13-3 is what happened.
I mean, well, you go back to when we drafted not Vince Young, but Steve McNair.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve didn't start till year 2, I think. But you gave him that time to develop. That is key. Cam had nobody to sit behind and learn from. He had nobody on the team whatsoever to really pick their brains. This man was having to go outside of the Titans organization and ask people, like, hey, what do you... He reached out to Manning. Like, dude, he reached out to so many people because he wasn't getting the development he needed from the head coach. Like, that is documented. You can watch that stuff on ESPN. Like, it was Peyton talks about it, dude. Like, it's unreal what Cam Ward had to do just to to develop what little bit he did from before the bye week to after, because while we did make that coaching change and it did shift a lot of things for him, he still had to develop more. And he did, but he had to reach out to people outside the organization, And I think that says everything we need to know.
Yeah.
But, dude, I would have loved, man. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
100%. But I think if we brought Aaron Rodgers in with the shape that he's been in since he went to the Jets,
his leg would have been ripped off.
Behind this O-line, bro, not only would his legs been ripped off, but he would have been out there looking like Darth Vader with just like one limb left.
He definitely wouldn't be playing this year.
Oh no,
he would have retired. He would have retired,
dude. He would have retired like 2 weeks into the regular season had that been the case, bro. Yeah. And I wouldn't blame him, dude. Like you have somebody who was that incompetent as a coach and as a leader to the organization, to where you not only lost the trust and the faith of the players you were brought in to develop, but you also lost that trust in the front office as well. And it's everything was told to us. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks in when they made him come out and say that, hey, I'm no longer going to be calling the offensive plays. And then you knew it was done. It was over with. He was out of here because the only reason you brought him in here was because of his offensive playbook and for the hopes, here we go again, the word potential, right? Which it seems this organization likes to lean on a lot, but the potential to be able to be a good play caller.
Yeah.
And it never developed, Yeah. I think it was way too soon for the Callahan experiment, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But, let's get back on track here. So, we're talking about, offensive players. Who do we think has to step up? You said Cam, I said O-line, specifically it would be your left tackle and your center, protect the blind side. Lee, who did you have again?
Calvin Ridley.
I have to disagree on that. I think
with him coming back from injury, he needs to step up. And I think he will.
How many yards did he have the year before his injury? 1,000. The thing with Calvin Ridley is when he's healthy, he plays good.
But he also didn't really have a head coach or a wide receivers coach that year.
Yeah.
But it's funny. The OC was his wide receivers coach in college at Alabama.
Yeah. So
you could see a resurgence.
So you got Ridley, I got O-line, TK got Cam. Let's do this. Now we're going to talk about stars. Who's going to be a star? Just absolute, 100%. This guy's coming in on offense, and he's crushing it.
Who's going first?
I'll let you go first, bro.
Are you ready to? I'm fixing to rage bait you a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I'm going the rookie. Carnell Tate.
Lee, really? Carnell Tate? Really? Hey! All right, explain.
You've got a young receiver who has a whole lot, and this is a word I don't use real often, but I'm going to use it right now. He has a ton of upside. And the thing I like is that you have a young quarterback, you have a young receiving core. Take Calvin Ridley out of it. You have a young receiving core and a young offense, just in general. And it's going to allow this offense to grow together as a young offense, as a young offensive line, as a young quarterback, as a young receiving core.
Okay. I
You're like, I see where you're coming from.
I get. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about this, man. Lee, you just went with Cardinal Tate as he is written in the stars, 100% going to be the stud on this offense.
He wasn't even the number one wide receiver, literally.
Bye-bye.
On he was literally not even the number one wide receiver at Ohio State.
Talk about it, bro.
He wasn't.
Talk about it. Lee just sent himself he's in the abyss again. I mean, we got to talk about this. So
He wasn't.
you see, if you're looking at the screen right over here where Lee was, you see just this dog and Cam Moore just sitting there holding that ball. Let me tell you something. I don't care who you are. If you're coming in and you're going to be a star at the wide receiver position, you have at least got to been a wide receiver one at some point in your college career for me to come in here and say, hey, this dog's going to come in here and he's going to ball out. We don't know that because we haven't seen him play wide receiver one.
Hey, I hope he does, but I will still say what I said when we drafted him when I hit the floor the night we did. He has to be. I'm not saying he has to be Jefferson or Jamar Chase, but he's at least got to be a McMillan last year for the Panthers. He's at least got to have he's got to. I mean, that was a bad example probably, but I mean he's got to be awesome. He's gonna have to blow my socks off for me to be
And
a pick.
Another name we could mention in that category is Emeka Egbuka. Tampa Bay wide receiver out of Ohio State.
He was the number one wide receiver.
Yeah, he was number one. First of all, Cardinal Tate was never a number one wide receiver.
Jeremiah Smith was above Carnell Tate last year.
I know, but if you're looking at for expectation, I think it's more of like an Emeka Egbuka.
Okay, I get what
you're
saying.
talking about
Yeah.
expectations.
Gotcha.
That honestly, I would take that too. I would.
Yeah.
Because until Emeka got hurt, you saw flashes of greatness.
Yeah.
But you also had a guy like a Mike Evans in that wide receiver room.
I think we throw around the word elite and greatness a little bit too much in the NFL.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think everybody thinks that everybody's going to come in and be elite and great. No. First of all, look at running backs. You get one in every generation, just about. One. And about every 12-year span, We
had what? We've had what? 3 of them?
4 if you count.
CJ.
Well, CJ is in that conversation. That's 4 if you count Errol Campbell.
Yeah.
And you do because it's the same organization. So there you go.
Now, are we talking running backs? Because
running
you have
backs.
to throw Warren Moon in there if that's the case.
Yeah, we're talking running backs, and then you talk about quarterbacks.
Just running backs.
Yeah. Now let's talk about because you're right. Warren Moon is to me the pinnacle of quarterbacks in the NFL. What he meant to this team and this organization, when he came in, the stuff that he was going through as a black quarterback, he paved the road for the Titans to eventually select Steve McNair, which was the first African American quarterback drafted in the first round. Was it first overall, Lee? I don't remember. Number 3. But still, he was the first. Steve McNair was the first African American quarterback drafted in the first round, and that stuff like that would have never happened if you never got quarterbacks like Warren Moon, who came in and still to this day, Warren Moon had one of the most beautiful throws you'll ever see anybody have.
Yep.
There's no one else in the National Football League who can throw a pigskin the way Warren Moon could, you know?
Yeah.
It was a thing of beauty. And so, tip of the hat to him, man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
By far, one of my, like, heroes, you know? Now, let's get back to where we were. TK, who do you have that is a, for sure, 100% right in, this guy's a star for the Titans offense this year?
Gunnar Helm. I'm going to say it again.
Gunnar Helm?
I'm going to stick with that. Yeah. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but Gunnar Helm. Yeah. He's so sure-handed, man. I mean, he caught balls that he should not have caught last year.
Yeah.
Like, people say, here we go again, but Cam threw this in the window. There was stuff that he threw that shouldn't have been caught that Gunnar Helm caught last year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to make it short with that, but I'm still going to say I think Gunnar Helm is a standout for us this year. If Cam can get him the dang ball.
So, I do want to piggyback off of this because I think I like that, you know. I think Gunnar Helm is definitely one of those, for sure, 100% riding in. I have a name that neither of y'all mentioned that I think, you know, tops the cake for it all. None other than Mr. DK himself.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think when you talk about right now, 100% right in who is the star of this offense, it's got to be Cameron DK, man. Like,
oh, there's no question there.
Yeah.
There's no question with that. I agree. I think we need to actually get him more involved in the receiving.
I think in order to do that, you have to get him off of special teams and let him develop as a wide receiver in the NFL.
You can't take him off special teams, dude. He's too good.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just saying if you want him to develop at wide receiver, eventually you're going to have to get to that point to where you make that change. Let him focus on it because, I mean...
I don't know how I disagree with you on that, dude. I don't know how you can't take somebody that great at returning away. Like, I mean, all he's really doing is returning kickoffs and punts. I mean, he can still do wide receiver stuff. I mean, he's not.
He can, but that's not going to be like. First of all, that splits your time. That splits your time in you know meetings and stuff like that. Then you know he's not been able to fully sit down and sit. You know, because he'll be at a special team meeting. You know, like that's a lot to take in. Now, granted, they're able to do that, but at the end of the day, look at the situation we had last year. You know. Counting off of that because we can't say anything about what we're going into with the new coaching staff. So just off of what we had last year, you know, it would have been putting too much on his plate, man. Because they would have...
Actually, I got a question for you guys on that. Obviously, DK's great, right? How much of that was him and his ability versus Fossil's actual coaching? I wonder.
I think it was like...
A mixture of both, probably.
First of all, I think you look at the connection that him and Cam Ward built. I think that was the fundamental key to it all. You know, Cam Ward, before OTAs even started, made him, Ridley, and what's the tight end? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Our tight end we had, Chickaconka. You know, made all of them, you know, come down to Texas, train with him in Texas, develop that chemistry, and when push came to shove, and you know, Calvin got hurt, you know, all these players were falling down, the offensive line wasn't doing good. Who did they finally put in at wide receiver? Cameron DK. And who started making touchdowns and plays for us when Cam Ward targeted him? Cameron DK. So you know that he has that development there, or that not development, chemistry, I'm sorry. He has that chemistry there. And that chemistry is only going to continue to grow. So, you know, I don't think that had anything to do with Fossils or Callahan or anything like that. I think it was just purely that chemistry. Because by the time we got through bye week and finished to the end of the season, It was just off of just the players, getting out there and playing off of pure chemistry because nobody was leading that team.
No,
Let's
I was
just
about
be
to say
yeah.
it for sure as hell wasn't Callahan.
Yeah, right. Definitely
So-
wasn't Mike McCower.
Yeah.
So, if I could throw out one honorable mention, it would be Alec Manor.
I think he's gonna be a good like if this was basketball, I think he's gonna be a good role player, like receiver wise.
So we're talking about somebody who's just outside of being 100% for sure right in, right? That's your honorable mention. TK, do you have an honorable mention? This is where Lee, I know you led with Ridley. This is where I would have put Ridley on your list is an honorable mention. Or not Ridley, but Tate.
I'm gonna be boring a little bit, and I'll agree with you with that. If he can stay healthy.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I got one for y'all. Just on the outside of being a for sure 100% right in. So he's not there. Got a little development to do. Number 1, Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward sits just on the outside of being that for sure right in. And the reason he's not in that yet is because he hasn't had the time or ability based in the situation that he was in to develop. I think we see that this year, and I think that he's sitting right on that cusp. Just like Big Jeff said. He's like, look, a lot of y'all are going to get to see what y'all have never seen before. Y'all going to see what we see. And the reason why we say this dude's going to be around for a long time and why this is our guy. Y'all are about to see that. When season 3 of the QB show hits, he said, y'all about to see that, So I think we do see that. I think, Cam Ward isn't there. He isn't a for sure right in, but he is sitting on the outside of that, If this offense finds success, it's going to be from the O-line and Cam Ward. And that's just how it is. Two players, hands that the ball always touches. Always.
And
The
that's
center
just the bottom line.
and the quarterback.
Because Stone Cold said so.
Absolutely. So that is the one who's just on the outside. Now, let's get into sleepers. Okay? I'm going to lead this one because I've been waiting for it, baby. But my sleeper for the 2026 NFL season for the Tennessee Titans is none other than Mr. Xavier. Let's go. So,
I knew that too. It was
yeah.
gonna be too.
I think this guy, man, I was big on him. TK was really big on him coming in.
Oh yeah.
First of all, you want to talk about chemistry? Look at what happened when they finally decided, hey, let's let him play a game with Cam Moore. His first play, everything was breaking down. O-line was breaking down, all this stuff. He's sitting in the middle of the freaking dadgum field, wide open. And Cam hits him like it was nothing. Just chemistry, dude. That's what I'm talking about. He has the ability. He might not be the fastest wide receiver, but he is a genius when it comes to route running. He might not can run open, but he can find the open, if that makes sense. He has the ability to cut in, and he knows where to go. He knows how to create separation to the point to where Cam can have time to deliver that ball to him. I think we see a step forward from Xavier this year. So he is my sleeper. TK, how about you?
I'm gonna be honest with you on this one. This is gonna kind of be out of left field, just for the simple fact of we have not seen him in the NFL yet. This is kind of just of what I've heard about this guy, and that's Singleton, the running back.
Yep.
And look, hey, this is kind of one of those. Like I said, I have nothing to explain why I think that other than what I've heard. But I just got a little itch. If he stays healthy, because I know through his college career he's had a lot of injuries. Apparently, they've seen something in this guy for us to pick him. And, I mean, Spears was a little bit of a later round pick too, and he showed. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater, but I think he could potentially at least have a decent impact. Because honestly, I'm going with him because as far as sleepers go, honestly, I really don't have much there.
I think for me, he would be in that honorable mention for sleeper for my list because you're 100%.
That's where I would put him too. Just, I don't really have a sleeper, so I'm gonna have to go with him. I mean, it's the boring answer, but it's kind of.
I don't think it's boring, dude. Because think about it, man. Like we got 2 running backs.
5 running backs.
Yeah, we got 2 that I feel like are gonna. I think he's gonna be your third running back. I think you might see them do personnel changes between him and
Spears.
Spears is your number 2. Who's that big running back?
Chestnut.
You're gonna see that swap out for running back 3 on certain plays. Like if we have to, just hammer the ball 1 yard to get a first down, you put Chestnut in. I think that's where that comes in. Or you move Chestnut to a fullback.
Yeah.
And let you let Singleton become your solid RB3. Now, I will say this though, because I think this is very interesting. I think he has a lot of potential. And I think, he has the ability to be able to let that translate. You look at Spears, you look at what's his name? Pollard, yeah, I almost said Fulton. But you look at Spears and Pollard, I don't know how much longer Pollard's going to be able to do. And even last year, the offensive line was so atrocious that it was still a struggle for even him to do something. Like the running game was just as boring as the passing game. There was I think with him, you put fire in the gas, and who knows? It might explode. It might not. I think this is kind of like, that I'm not comparing him to what I'm about to say, but when we brought Derrick Henry in, and he sat behind DeMarco Murray, this is the perfect opportunity for him to sit, and he has somebody who is decent, and Pollard to get to learn from, So I think this is going to be very beneficial to him. So I 100% love that, man. So, Lee, who you got?
A guy that always seems to show out in preseason. TK, you know right where I'm going.
You're going to go that far. Okay.
No, seriously.
I mean, I love him too, man. Go ahead, though. I know you're going to
I'm going to go the newlywed, Mason Kinsey.
I love him. I do
I love him as a person.
Yeah, and I love his story, but... Yeah.
But, if you look at the kind of player he is, he's one of those greedy, I don't care who you are, I'm going to run you over type players.
Lee.
He's the girlfriend that's never going to go away.
We said the same thing about NWI.
But listen, but we like to keep her around. It's okay.
I get where you're coming from.
I love him too, dude. I'm a huge fan.
I get where you're coming from, man. I'll say this. I remember when we had the cornerback with the back problems, Caleb Farley. I was huge on Caleb Farley. I wanted to see this man come in and be the sleeper every year because of his story and who he was as a person. Mason Kinsey is that, but for the offense, Yeah.
I
don't think it's going to happen, man. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I think you got too much depth on this in this wide receiver group outside of him. I just don't. You might get lucky and they might, bring him off practice squad for a game this year. But I seriously feel like we are seeing the end time of Mason Kinsey with the Titans. But that's just
I
me.
think he's gonna retire a Titan, I will say, but that's just on the practice squad.
And
Yeah.
for me, my honorable mention in this spot, I'm gonna go where TK went. I'm gonna go Singleton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of Mason, can we just give a big congratulations to his mom for
Yeah.
getting engaged over the weekend?
Yeah. Congrats. Congrats. So, yeah, man, like, I like it. I think overall, this offense has.
It's gonna look different. It's gonna look way different.
I don't know. I think it slowly starts with the O line. Could we all agree on that?
Oh, absolutely.
If the O line comes out and it looks the same as it has for the last 4 years, I don't think we see anything different. If for some miracle they find the right Pee-wee player to come in and play center and right guard, and they're able to take a little step forward, then I think you can see, progression. You look at what we had last year. What was your big thing on Cam Ward? It wasn't consistent enough. He was able to do this and that here and there, but it didn't win games. Right. Why? Because the O-line was never consistent enough. But when they were, or not when they were consistent, but the few plays that they had when they actually blocked and did good, we saw Cam ball out, make plays downfield. We seen the running backs make runs. Like, we seen what we needed to see, but it wasn't consistent enough. And I don't know if they've done enough to fix that inconsistency on the O-line. So I think, talking about this offensive line, or offense in general, outside of the O-line, I like the growth we're seeing. When you look at the offense as a whole, counting the O-line, I don't like it because they didn't address the O-line, man.
Yeah.
I think they're going off of some, wishing and praying right now. And I sure hope God answers their prayers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But would y'all be comfortable giving a grade for the offense? This grade we will take and we'll make a graphic of, and we will bring it up at the end of the season, and we'll see if they were actually able to meet that grade, succeed that grade, or did they fall below that grade. So,
Yeah.
TK, what would be your grade?
C+.
C+? Lee? Hold up. If you don't know, you're about to know.
Yeah.
Mr. Optimistic himself, Lee Holy Hip Hillis. Take it away, Ernie.
So I'm not going to go as high of a grade as y'all may think.
Oh, he's learning.
He rubbed that ball and said different.
He said, oh, snap. Let me take that back.
So thinking back to everything, okay, O-line, there's still concerns.
Yep.
I think there's room to grow along the offensive front. I'm going to go B-.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not mad at it,
And the only reason I went B- is due to that O-line. There's questions on that interior.
That might be the most realistic thing you've ever said on the pod.
So I like that. You went B-. TK went C+. I'm going to go, and I'm going to let TK be the split between us. I'm going C. Okay? I think because you look at how important the offensive line is to the overall functioning of this team, being able to put points up on the board and win games. It's going to start and finish with that O-line,
Okay.
And
Hey,
as coach,
hold on. Just wait 1 second.
Yeah.
Lee, here's my question to you. Okay, his offense, right? He said C. His record prediction was 5 wins. I said C plus. My record prediction is 7 wins. You're telling me we're going 13-4 with a B minus offense?
Ooh.
The B minus, the B minus is
I'm only doing this and to lead us into next week at some point because we will get into defense.
Yeah.
So when we get into that defensive grade,
y'all gonna hear a different tone altogether.
yeah, because I'm very curious. You tell me an offense the last time they went 13-4 and they had a B minus offense.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer. I'm just saying.
I think to Lee's defense here, you know, when we went through that last week on the record prediction, a lot of those games that he had us winning by a field goal. I think he has the belief, and I think this is where it gets into next week as well, that the defense is going to be what carries us. However, I disagree with that because the defense couldn't carry us for the last 2 years. You look at the season
but
Big
you
Jeff
also had an offensive-minded head coach.
Look, defense might win you a championship because you only got to worry about one game. It is not going to consistently win you a season. Make sense? Like, you have to be able to put points up on the board offensively, period. We've seen it. What's going to happen if we have to just solely rely on this defense all year long again? They're going to get burnt out. By the time we hit week 3, week 4, the season's over with. Because they are burnt out. They done had to go out and literally play triple the amount of snaps than they should have just because the O-line couldn't get the stuff together and this team couldn't put points up on the board. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, but I get where you're coming from, man. Like, I think the defense is going to have a big role in why you said that. But
I did too.
13-4, B minus. Clip it, guys. You heard it from here. Live on What's Shakin' Titans.
You heard it from a good source.
Uh-huh. Talk about it. All right, guys, real quick. We're going to play a quick game, and then we're going to get y'all out of here. So, guys, with that being said, let's hit the graphic. All right, guys. So with that being said, we're going to play a game real quick. It's going to be Pick'em. And so how this game works, guys, I'm going to name a few running backs from our past, right? And you get to pick one and you get to release one, right? But ultimately, whoever you pick is going to be your running back for an entire season, right?
Okay.
All right. So, how y'all feeling about this? Y'all comfortable?
Oh, yeah. I'll be good.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's roll.
So, I'm pulling up my list here because your boy did some research. I did some digging, right? All right. Here we go. All right. Antonio Andrews or Dexter McCluster?
Oh my gosh, coming out with some heat, man.
Uh-huh.
D-Mac. Give me D-Mac.
Ooh. I mean, I'll go with McCluster.
McCluster?
Ooh.
All
I'll
right.
go with him.
So
I'll go with a gadget player. I'll do that.
all right. Would you, for the 2017 season, DeMarco Murray or Derrick Henry?
Is this for me or Lee?
For Lee. Without looking anything up, Lee.
Dude, he gets the good ones?
For 2017.
For 2017.
DeMarco Murray or Derrick Henry?
Yep.
I know what my answer would be.
I think I know where you would go. Give me Derrick Henry, baby.
All right. Is that where you were going, Tyler?
No.
No.
You were going to Marco?
So
2017.
2017, DeMarco Murray on 184 attempts only rushed for 659 yards. Do you know
I thought of the wrong year, but anyway, yeah.
Do you know what Derrick Henry did that year? On 176 carries, rushed for 744 yards.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now this is to you, TK.
All right.
It's about to get challenging, son. I hope you're ready.
That was challenging.
Yeah.
It's within itself, man.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Between these three running backs, who would you pick to bring back in their prime to be your current running back for the entire 2026 season?
Okay.
Errol Campbell, Eddie George, or Chris Johnson?
In today's age of football, I'm gonna go with Chris Johnson on this because I'm thinking of how the NFL's played today. So I will go Chris Johnson.
Wow.
I will say
I get it, though. I get it.
I wanted to say the first one, but yeah.
You wanted to say Errol Campbell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did, but
I think for me, I would probably go Earl Campbell over Eddie George. He definitely has better overall career stats.
yeah, me too. I would
But,
too.
the reason I would pick down, and I would even pick him over Chris Johnson. Here's
Yeah.
why. Look at what Derrick Henry has done in the league. Derrick Henry is a throwback to Errol Campbell days, right?
Yeah.
Look how successful Derrick Henry has been. So you
Absolutely.
give me Errol Campbell, baby. All right,
Yeah.
Lee, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Lee. If you had to pick your starting quarterback today, who would you pick? Vince Young or Jake Locker?
Oh, God. Both of those were booty cheeks, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you got to pick one, man.
If I had to pick one, I'd go VY.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't, with Vince Young, you really did not have the injury concern that you had with Jake Locker.
So, now, final question. This is going to both of y'all. Okay? If you could reunite one former head coach to this organization to become the new head coach of this organization, okay? This can be dated all the way back to Oilers coaches, too.
We're talking all Titans head coaches, right?
Yep. All time.
Oilers and Titans.
Oilers
Mine's
and
easy.
Titans. Who you got?
Mine's easy. Go ahead, Lee. I'll let you go first.
I think I know where you'd go,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go back to the Oiler days. I'm gonna go Bum Phillips.
Oh, I like it.
Because you're talking about a guy who led the Houston Oilers to back-to-back championships
Yep.
in the late 70s.
All right, TK.
You ready for me to piss off the nation?
Let's do it.
I know where you're going. Yeah, it's going to piss off everybody.
Hey,
Hold up, Lee.
Bring Mi-
Make sure
Bring
you're
Mikey
all up them,
Mike back, baby.
all up
Bring
them
Mike
hips, because
Vrabel
you about to
back.
lay down just like Rossini did. Hey,
Hey, bring Mike Vrabel back.
talk about it, baby. Dude, okay.
Absolutely.
Final pick here. Excluding what we learned privately, who would you rather play for? Mike Vrabel or Jeff Fisher?
Mike Vrabel, no question.
Jeff Fisher.
Ooh. There's a split. Why Jeff?
Mike Vrabel was a player's coach, man. Like that's like, and I know what you're gonna say. Well, so was Jeff Fisher, but it's different.
Well, for me, it comes down to it comes
Fire
down.
under him like Mike Vrabel would for. I'm a Vrabel guy all the way.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
with
for
you.
me, it comes down to one thing. It comes down to respect. I want to play for a coach that respects his players and respects everybody in the building. I don't think Vrabel was that guy in the building.
What?
I
Oh
don't think-
man.
I don't think.
This was
What
actually-
Shakin Titans just blew
Hey,
up.
can I tell you something? When I was working for the Titans, by the way, this is like public knowledge. This was on so after the games in the production booth, I had to get down to the field as the players were coming off, and Vrabel would sit there outside of the locker room and congratulate.
I remember
each player.
that. Each player.
So listen, that's not what I'm saying though. Ben Jones was hurt, came in, and just the offensive line had one heck of a performance to push us to a win. To just get
He dislocated his leg in the middle of the game,
Yes,
popped it back
yes.
in, and got out there
Yes.
and finished.
Yes, and I saw tears in Ben Jones and Mike Vrabel's eyes. as
Talk
they-
about it, bro.
By the way, this literally was this. They talked about it on 104.5. I'm not like breaking anything. I shouldn't. Like I saw it happen, and Vrabel's response was like, "I love that guy." He's like, "That's a warrior right there. I've been there." Like that is why I would Vrabel all day, no question.
I 100% agree with you, man. I think you go Vrabel over Jeff any day. My thing with Mike Vrabel is as long as he had some say in the development of the team, we were doing good, both offensively and defensively, right? Would y'all agree with that? Now, let's go back to Jeff Fisher days. We've seen a stellar defense year in and year out from Jeff, right? But you really never seen that offense hit that next step. Excuse me. We did the same thing we done to Marcus with Steve McNair. We didn't, get an O-line in front of him. This is my big fear for Cam Ward. What happened to him? He kept getting hurt. Eventually we moved on from him, and I just think as a head coach, you are solely responsible for getting that protection for your quarterback, because it's a different game now. I think you get Steve McNair and this generation of football, he plays, triple the time than what he did. Easily, hands down,
Yeah.
But I just don't think that, at the end of the day, they did enough to really help him on that O-line. And real quick, guys, let's go to the comments here. We got none other than Michael Bishop from the Power Hour. What's up, bro? He said, thing is, we know who Vrabel really is now. That will never stop following him. So, TK, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, man, that's the thing. And I guess what he's obviously all this stuff's come out.
Yeah.
about Vrabel.
All
And honestly,
about Diana.
Yeah, and
Dirty
just to be
Diana.
completely honest, just because of stuff or certain
Yeah.
things, I'm not gonna go too deep into that because I'm talking about football right now.
Yeah, pure football.
And
I get it.
I was working with the Titans when Vrabel was there, and saw a lot of things that were all positive. I will say interactions with players, how he was to all of us in general. I mean, at the end of the day, though, when I say he's a player's coach, and I know, like I said earlier, Jeff Fisher was a player too. He, I want a coach that's literally he's out there running drills with the players.
Yeah.
Homeboy's out there literally like
Putting,
not just getting pads, like he's checking dudes.
yeah.
He's still built like a hoss. Like, so I mean, that's why right there, like, also all these Titans fans, including me, we're all like, battered right now. Well, people forget we were battered before too until then he came along and look what happened.
Well,
honestly, hey,
I do want to talk about that for a second, because I think you talk about a head coach who really didn't get a fair shake because he didn't want to move on from one of his guys. But we sit here and we say that the Titans wasn't in a good spot when Vrabel came in, but yet under the previous coaching staff, we just went to the playoff and had a playoff berth for the first time since, we went to the Super Bowl, basically, like.
Yeah, but
I
was
think,
it like a real playoff berth, or did we
absolutely
or did we like throw a touchdown pass to ourselves in that? You know what I mean?
I mean, look, I get
get
that,
what you're saying.
but a win's a win, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, at the end of it,
As a Titans fan,
yeah.
I don't care how we win.
But I seriously got to say this is like the team was developing in the right direction when Vrabel came in. Vrabel came in and took a good situation and made it great, right? Would you agree to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I think that is something worth talking about. But, Vrabel was, he was a good coach. Now, was he behind the scenes, doing stuff that you shouldn't do? Obviously, yes, we found out about that, doing stuff, leaking stuff, all this, but if you can exclude all of that and you get Vrabel, the coach, back in here, I think you do that, all day, any day, over, Jeff Fisher, in my opinion. So,
yeah.
But anyway, guys, that's our take for Pick'ems. So join us next week as we're going to be doing Pick'ems, but solely for defense.
Right.
With that being said, guys, I'm Gary Bailey. That is Lee, the Ole Hip Hillis himself. And then right over here, you got Tyler King. We are What's Shakin' Titans. Peace out and tighten up.
Tighten up.